Check out the link in the description below and you can find a worksheet that goes along with this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at playing chords on the top 3 strings of the ukulele. We're going to leave the 4th string out of it, and you'll notice that it actually makes a lot of chord shapes a lot easier to play. And whether we're playing fingerstyle with our fingers playing chords or strumming, it's really essential to know some of these shapes. And we're going to base our shapes like we've worked on the cage system, the C, A, G, E, F, and D shapes. We've adapted that from the cage system from the guitar to the ukulele. We're going to play these open chord shapes and move them around. And I'm going to add in minor shapes as well. And so the basic shapes that we're going to use the A shape. And what we're going to do is take this for starters, and then we're going to make it into a movable bar chord. We're also going to play the G shape and the D shape. Those are going to be the basis for our major chords, then A minor, D minor, and G minor. So 3 major chords, then they're related 3 minor chords, and believe it or not, that's going to give us a lot to work on, moving up and down the fingerboard. So when we play this A shape, imagine how you play an A chord across 4 strings, 2, 1, 0, 0. I'm just going to play 1, 0, 0, the top 3 strings. This gives us the notes C sharp, E, and A. Now the A note that names the chord, the root of the chord, is on the high string, the 1st string. That's important to know. So if we can move the shape around to various places, whatever position we're playing at, where our 1st finger is, that note on the high string is going to name the chord. So for example, if I free up my 1st finger, turn it into a bar, as if I'm going to play a B flat chord, now I'm going to get 2, 1, 1, using my 1st finger flat. There's a way actually now that we're not using the low string. You could even go 3, 1, 2. I sometimes play the chord this way. But it's easiest to play once you get that bar chord technique down. Good practice to lay the 1st finger flat and get that. We've looked at some lessons to improve your bar chord playing technique. You can review those and work on playing really parallel to the fret wire, only needing to cover 2 strings with this particular shape. Now that B flat note is on the high string. There's our root of the chord. So now this can become a movable shape. 2nd position is B. 3rd position, that's another way of playing a C chord. 3-note C chord. C sharp, D at the 5th fret. The 5th fret of the high string is the note D. Then we would get an E flat or a D sharp, and then E. Then we get up 1 from E, we get an F chord. You can test your F chord. F sharp, that's up at 9th position, and then 10th position, we get a G chord. It's quite simple. We're just using the same shape, but only 3 notes, moving up to different frets. This is great for fingerstyle playing. Notice I'm using my thumb, index, and middle fingers to play the top 3 strings. If I was strumming with my thumb, I could strum those 3 notes. I could use a down strum with my index finger. We just want to be careful not to strum the 4th string. And we're going to look at another video lesson where you can study how to mute strings. And basically the idea is you just lay a finger that's free gently on that string. If I laid my 3rd finger down across the 4th string, now I can strum all 4 strings, but we're only going to hear the top 3 because I'm muting. So that's another technique that we'll study. So that is using the A shape, open position A, to make all these bar chords. What you want to practice is getting to know where to hold the chord and the shape to give you a particular chord. So C is 3rd position. E, for example, 7th position. F, 8th position. G is 10th position. B flat, 1st position. Just test yourself. What if I asked you to play D? Where would you move this shape? Where is the note D on the high string? A, B, C, aha! D is at the 5th fret. So there it is. So that is the first of these shapes that we'll take a look at. Next, let's take a look at, it's related, we could think of it as the F shape or the G shape. Earlier I said the G shape, but really it starts from the F chord in open position, 2, 0, 1, 0, just playing the high strings. F, which one of these notes is F? We have a C on the third string, we have an A in the high string, that leaves the second string, first fret. There's the note that names this shape. That is the root of this chord. If I free up my fingers, then we get what looks very familiar. It looks like a G chord. Now F sharp or G flat would be in between those two in first position. G, A flat or G sharp. Fourth position is A, B flat, B, C is in seventh position. Then C sharp, D, D sharp or E flat, E. Way up high at 11th position, you can test that with the E chord. Sure enough, it matches, it's great. So these aren't hard to play, and they're easy to move around as well. So you could practice, let's say if we play a G, let's move it up to an A. Try move that back and forth. G going to A. How about a little further, G all the way up to C? All the way up to the seventh position. How about all the way to a D chord going up really high? That's all the way to the ninth position. They start to relate together really nicely. So that is using the F shape, which also looks like a G chord when we start moving around. So getting to know your note names on the second string is going to help you to find where to place this shape. And in time with practice, you just start to memorize it. It becomes natural. If you need an A chord, boom, your fingers just know where to go with the shape. I went right to the fourth fret. So that leaves us with the third major shape that we're going to look at, and that is a D shape. So let's play a D chord. Now we can move that up a fret and just cover the high string. Now you can use 2, 3, and 1, or I often use 3, 4, and 1 in the left hand. So it's, in this case, I moved up one fret. Now it's E flat. I'm playing the third fret of the third string, then the second string with my pinky, third fret, and then high string first fret with the first finger. Now, where would you think the root is on this? The A shape, it was a high string. F or G shape, it was on the second. So this shape, the D shape, it's on the third string. That's where the note D is. It's the root of this chord. So D, E flat, E, F in third position, F sharp, G, G sharp or A flat, A, B flat, B. How about a C chord way up at 10th position? Test that. Now right away you have quite a variety of ways of playing a C chord now, and they're all related back to these open chord positions. So study the cage system that we've looked at and just know that you can leave out that note on the fourth string for some simplicity with the chords. And so let's say I'm going to ask you to play a D chord using the A shape. So you'd have to think where that would be. Where's the D on the high string? It's fifth position. There it is. Now how about where is that note D if I'm going to search around on the second string, so then I can use my F shape. It's going to be up quite high. If we think this D note here, we go one string down and 5 frets up. There it is. Aha! So there's a higher inversion of our D chord using the G or the F shape. And then of course we know our low D position, like an open position D chord, just using the 3 strings. So start with those major chord shapes, 3-note chords using the A shape, the F or the G shape, and then the D shape. And I'll be right back and let's take a look next at how to make these into minor shapes. And I'll see you then.